It's always fun right here on TVC Breakfast, but this time around, let's take you to the front pages of Nigerian newspapers to see what the headlines will be and return quickly for some analysis. The Nation newspaper is where we're beginning this morning, and still this issue of the U.S. and Nigeria. The president, Bola Tinubu, has finally spoken, and he's saying we will defeat terrorism, secure every part of the country. Of course, that is my president speaking. This Nigeria is where we're going right about now, and we see right here, same thing as well. The president is saying we will defeat terrorism, assures the U.S. and Trump himself. But when we come back, we'll be looking at some other matters. The Punch newspaper on the same matter, Tinubu rallies foreign allies as North rejects Sharia ban. Another angle to a different story, but linking to the same thing right there. The News Direct is where we would look about right now, and we see here we will defeat terrorism in Nigeria. Tinubu tells U.S. pledges unity and economic progress about how to go. Leadership newspaper around the same matter as well. Nigeria initiates diplomatic talks with U.S. following Trump's threat. And the Hope newspaper, they always try to bring us a different route. However, Tinubu engages world leaders, vows to crush insurgents. Of course, we look forward to that. The Daily Times on the same matter, we will defeat terrorism, overcome CPC designation. The president assures Nigerians. And the Daily Independence this morning will overcome Trump CPC designation. The president is assuring us again and again and again. On the Blueprints newspaper this morning, alleged targeted killings, don't despair, we're engaging with the world, Tinubu tells Nigerians. And the Platform Times also around the same conversation, but this time around something a little bit on a personal security matter within the country. Tears, anger as retired police officers protest non-payment of pensions in Abuja. Sad one. And finally, on the Sporting Life, Osimhen is gleaning a toma of how he dealt with the coach who said he was going to be boxed. We took that yesterday, remember? Yeah. And today it looks like, you know, the sports world has celebrated. But Atoma, let's begin on with the Nation newspaper, where the president has assured Nigerians of what he will do. You know, I said it over and over on this table. That threat will never see the light of day.
Yeah, yes, but the threat woke up a lot of things. You know, it made a lot of people look into the matter a little bit closer, especially government officials. Especially Mr. President is making statements about this now, very strong statements about this. This is a fallout of Trump's outburst. I still want to see Trump's statement as just an outburst, you know, that he had because of several intelligence that he's had. But I am so happy that Mr. President has come out to say something. When something like this is happening and we are having ministers talk, we are having experts analyze and so on and so forth, and the president has not come out with a statement, it sort of tells you that, are you sure this man is serious about this? But now he has. And he has told us that they are handling it diplomatically. You know, yesterday I said we did have foreign missions. And our guest assured me that, look, we have foreign missions, we just don't have ambassadors for technical reasons. So the engagement has started, Mr. President. And Ria,
speaking about foreign missions, on this Nigerian newspaper, the writer here says, federal government will engage the world leaders diplomatically. That has been said, but how we now go about resolving that is very important. And that's what we're seeing here.
Exactly. And Nelson, what I believe in is that, you know, everything that happens is a blessing for me. That's how I take it. I believe that, you know, Donald Trump coming out to bring this threat to Nigeria is a very, very big wake-up call for us. For me, I just see it as a wake-up call. Because at the end of the day, I love that the president has been speaking about insecurity. We've seen him change several people, you know. We've seen him take center stage when it comes to security. But I love the fact that now it has been put on the forefront. At the end of the day, when this whole thing started, Nelson, if you remember, I said we should work on negotiation. Because you cannot use fight to fight. And I love the way the president is now saying that let us negotiate with the United States. If you want to help us, this is how to help us. We do have insecurity in Nigeria. We need help and you can help us, rather than, you know, trying to have altercations with them, because at the end of the day, we still have relations with the United States.
That's right.
So I just pray that this is a wake-up call to us. Service chiefs have been changed. You know, our diplomatic ambassadors, I know the president is going to do something about that. We should just try as Nigerians as well not to continue demarketing Nigeria. You know, the president made a speech and said that, and I always say this from the fact that I'm a Gen Z, I'm a youth, because I'm always on social media and I see what is happening. The president is reassuring us that, you know what, let's be patient a bit, you know, this will pass. And the comments on social media is not really encouraging. You know, some of the key points from his message is telling us that don't despair, a call for patience and resilience. We also know that, you know, Nigeria is depending on global engagement. You know, these are some of the things that he highlighted. So I'm just praying that Nigerians in diaspora and Nigerians here, you know, it's not very good that oftentimes when things like this happen, we are always fast to castigate and bash the government. Let's also, you know, just give them that listening ear and see what happens.
And Olamide, on the Punch newspaper, a different twist to the conversation there. The federal government is vowing to crush terror networks. This is as the headline here says, Tinubu rejects foreign allies as North rejects Sharia ban. You see the...
Yes, the concept of Sharia law is still very active in several parts of the northern part of our country. It's a very interesting conversation because on one hand, Sharia law has settled several disputes and issues that are unique to Northerners. It has helped them navigate some of their hardest times. You know what I mean? On the other hand, a lot of times the way that the punishment in Sharia law is meted out, it sparks human rights concerns, which is valid. But I quickly want to just talk about this issue. I think that this Trump threat, we're all getting carried away. History has shown us that U.S. threats like this, they are often strategic and not substantive. And what do I mean by that? I mean that oftentimes we've seen it in Trump's first term with Venezuela and Iran. He has said things, but there's been limited military action. He just wants to put diplomatic pressure on us. He's not actually planning to invade us. And I think how our president responded is how a calm and diplomatic and stable country responds to these sorts of things. It's diplomatic pressure. He knows that it's against the law. He knows that he cannot do this. And I love the fact that, you know, yesterday, I believe yesterday, they had the first Federal Executive Council meeting since this Trump threat of a thing. And even though the presidency had responded before, I love the fact that that Federal Executive Council meeting was focused on Nigeria as an economic powerhouse. We had the Minister of Finance and the Economy, Wale Edun. The focus shifted from what Trump is saying to how Nigeria can grow. And those are the sorts of conversations that we need to continue having to shape this narrative.
Yes, because even though Trump has laid a threat and all that, Nigeria still has to run.
Absolutely.
And the people that are saddled with the responsibility of running the country should not be distracted. That's a very good thing that happened during FEC yesterday, that the Trump thing wasn't center stage, but the economy and the improvement of our country was what took center stage. That's another very good one.
Just to add to it, Olamide, I love the fact that, yes, the president is acting calm, you know, listening to them. But even though we sit on this table and we say, okay, Trump cannot do anything, he cannot invade and all, I still believe that it's a wake-up call to us. I still believe that there's a lot of insecurity happening in Nigeria that the president has been trying to fight. But I hope that right now, you know, we put it on the forefront like we're doing now, because people keep dying, Muslims, Christians, you know, brothers, sisters. So let's not forget that. Let's also talk about the people that have been dying, and let's hope that this wake-up call is, we now
truly
hear that
it's
truly a wake-up call. Exactly.
Okay. Toma, let's talk to the news direct this morning. Something a bit different here. The governor of Osun State is empowering about 2,000, you know, residents of the state with, I think, 100 million naira here, and the makeup our trade.
100 million
no, not each.
I will have said I'm
you know, and the makeup our traders and artisans, you know, who are backing him for re-election. I'm wondering, so if I'm not backing him for re-election.
Okay, how does he know the ones that are backing him for re-election? Because they came as an association and say, you must continue.
Right.
I don't think so. What he is doing right now is what anybody that wants to run for office would do. And then this set of people that he is empowering are the kind of people that do not really need much to make a difference in their business and their lives. You know, right? 100 million. How many of them are there? How are you going to share 100 million to, let's say, 100 people? That's 1 million naira each, isn't it? But what if there are 200, 250, and so on? They are the kind of people where 350,000 naira will make a big difference in their business and in their lives. He is doing the right thing for somebody that wants to run for office again. This guy is campaigning.
Exactly, and for me, I'll just say, whether you're campaigning or not, me, I'm just for the people. I just want every Nigerian to be happy, every Nigerian to live peacefully. So even if you do it and they don't vote for you whatsoever, you've already done it and their business will go. But their business will go. But talking about Adeleke, he's been doing a fantastic job in Osun. We cannot deny that fact. You know, we've seen him just put the youths on the forefront, and for me, that's it. Because a country or a state that your youths are well equipped, there's no way that that state will not grow. So if he's giving out this money, I'm now just hoping that it's not just, oh, re-elect me, after you elect me, I will not give again. But then we have seen him do that even while, you know, he's in power. I like it. Let's empower our youth. That's the best way.
And why this is interesting, guys, is because Osun State, you know, they had an issue where their federal allocation was stopped. And apparently, from reports, we saw that Governor Adeleke was actually paying allegedly from his own coffers. So it's interesting to see that this priority and this not generosity, it's duty, is still playing out. That is
I'm happy you said coffers. I thought you wanted to say pockets. I said which pockets?
I was saying
pockets. So it's interesting to see that he's still able to discharge his duty.
But Olamide, the leadership newspaper, there's this matter right there that is a bit of a concern. Quoting the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Nigeria loses about $56 billion annually to malnutrition. According to the Vice President right there, every year, thousands of our children and pregnant women lose their lives to malnutrition-related causes. Millions more are left physically and mentally diminished. When a nation's child suffers from stunted growth, its future becomes stunted. Well said by the Vice President.
I believe that he said this at COP30, right? Is that at COP30?
No. At a conference, I think, in Katsina State around the issue.
Okay. Either way, I saw the Vice President go to COP30, and I just want to take it back to this issue of the Trump threat. I love the fact that right now we are focused on other things. We have to keep having conversations that matter, conversations that are unique to Nigeria and not our diplomatic relations or our global stance. I'm not saying that's not important, but this whole issue of malnutrition, and it's what I like to call the domino effect of the Nigerian dilemma, which means that everything goes into one another. We are in constant flux. When children are hungry, it's because the food baskets in the north or in the south or in the middle belt are being held up. Transport routes, because of insecurity, are being held up. Food and aid cannot get to people. Everything is a domino effect. And the sooner that we realize that in each part of this country, everything that is going on in the country, in each corner, affects the state of our nation and whether children can eat, the better will be for us.
And especially for me is security. I say this thing, if your country or your state is not secure, it's going to be very difficult. We've had conversations where farmers are saying that they are afraid to go to the farm because of insecurity. If they don't farm, how can we eat? Our children cannot keep dying because of malnutrition. I'm happy that we're spreading our tentacles to other issues, but the most important issue that we look at here is to make Nigeria safe for every Nigerian.
And the statistics and data about that is staggering, and we can't allow that to continue.
We've been in a food crisis for years. According to the World Health Organization.
And Echoma, we can hope, you know, there's another matter here on brain drain. Reps committee lament as lecturers quit Nigerian universities, demand urgent fix for institutions' manpower crisis. Our lecturers, I did a documentary on the state of Nigerian, education sector, and I sat down with a few professors. Apart from salary, which is minimal of why they go to strike, well, according to them, the most important reason why they do this is the dilapidating infrastructure within the university system.
Let me tell you the truth. What's it called? The way they are treated is a huge part of the reason they are doing this. You know, somebody will want to downplay it. I mean, I will understand that. But one thing is very clear. We have very brilliant lecturers in Nigeria. Because why do I say that? When they go outside the country, they become stars. You know, here in Nigeria, they are not appreciated the way they would have loved to be appreciated. And they go outside, and they are big stars. You get what I'm saying? They make a difference. And now they are beginning to realize that, look, I'm good enough. You know, it's a confidence booster. And since you are not going to appreciate me, let me go do it somewhere else. It is saddening that a sector like education is not having the attention it deserves in Nigeria.
You know, and just to add to this, Nelson, normally when you tell people I want to be a lecturer, the first thing they'll tell you, you'll be poor or you'll suffer. Or, yes, that is the truth. But
you'll sell handouts.
It's true, but that is not supposed to be the conversation. Being a lecturer is a very elite job. It's a job that you're supposed to do, be able to take care of your family and be treated well. But oftentimes, how do we treat our lecturers? We've seen them come out for strike over and over again. They are asking for needs that have not been given to them up to now. And I tell you what, Nelson, some of these lecturers, they're going to UK, they're going to Canada, and they're going to the Middle East, and even other African countries. They're going to Rwanda, they're going to Botswana. So it's just sad that now we are having our lecturers who are fantastic, who are smart, who are brilliant, who will give us a lot of knowledge, now leaving out to educate other people. Where does that leave us as Nigerians? Where does that leave our Nigerian students? At the end of the day, we come out, oh, Nigerian youths, but the youths are not even getting proper education if these lecturers are going out.
You know, the Daily Times and I think the Daily Independent also say the same thing on the matter of the issue that is making the rounds around the country. But Olamide, on the Daily Independent, I'd like us to look at another matter here, the PDP.
That umbrella.
That umbrella, yes. Karma is real, Damagun tells Anya, Wiki and others. State chairman pledged loyalty to Damagun-led NWC. The PDP is still having divided attention, if I would use that phrase.
I see the umbrella is falling down.
Absolutely.
You know,
yesterday,
one is going this way, one is going the other way.
See, yesterday I saw a very disturbing video, and you know what, we're not going to speak on it because we're not going to talk about the elections right now, but I saw a very disturbing video of one particular PDP, you know, high-ranking official party member breaking in to another place in between the PDP headquarters. I was so disappointed. I hope that this convention and how they are moving forward, I hope it will be a chance for renewal and rebirth.
I know that we don't have much time, but I tell you what, with the PDP, if they do not come down with their personal, everybody wants to be king. The umbrella is already shaking. The umbrella is already scattered. I said it. An umbrella is supposed to put everybody together, but when it comes to PDP, one is outside, one is inside, one is
I want the PDP
very
to remember
difficult,
that they are a national institution. They are not a group of people that are having a pissing contest.
But Olamide, quickly, I'll tell you something. The fact that they cannot even fix their house and there's so much trouble, I tell you what, no sane Nigeria would vote for anybody in the PDP. Because if I on this table cannot make everybody in peace, how can I do it outside?
Let's look at this matter. The Blueprints newspaper this morning. FEC has approved about 396 million for Northern IDPs. Sokoto Health Project. This sounds like something really good at the end of the day, because again, we're talking about child malnutrition earlier. And so if the federal government is approving this for them, I'm only hoping that governors of these northern states who are going to benefit from this will allow that money to go down to the people who require it.
Nobody should pocket the money. We don't want to hear any snake has swallowed the money. The money should go to the people it's supposed to go to. Now, so when I hear big monies like this, all I think about is accountability, because oftentimes in Nigeria, you hear that they have disbursed a lot of money, but at the end of the day, where does it go to? It has gone to somebody's pocket. So let's just hope that it gets to the people.
The concern for me is that we're always looking at the presidency, you know, the executive, but they are doing a lot to help states at one point or the other. What is then going on? Why are the excuses most of the times?
It's corruption, 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 and corruption. Do I say more?
Corruption.
Well, you
we can do better as Nigerians, honestly.
But the Platform Times, this matter, before we hand off this morning, the retired police officers who are decrying lack of pay of pensions, you know, this is really sad. I'm saying this.
It is not only sad, it is very annoying too. These people put their lives on the line every day. They wake up and tell their family, bye-bye, I'm going to work. You know, it's a kind of job where you say, bye-bye, I'm going to work, and you don't know if you're coming back. You know, and they put 35 years of their lives doing this kind of dangerous work for very little pay, and their pensions and the rest are still owed them.
And they are praying, they are crying, they are even adding God into it. There's something I do, Olamide. Honestly, people don't understand why, but when I see police on the road, I just always like to give them money, because I understand what they're going through. Standing in the sun, wearing black, it's not a joke.
The sporting life, of course, our guy, Osima, is excited
what has he done?
What he's done. You know, he's talking about the three goals he brought about, you know. So, hey, man, keep enjoying.
But I tell you all the time, when you say Osima, you need to say Africa's Messi. You cannot just say his name without adding Africa's Messi.
No, make it stand alone. When you say Africa's Messi, you mean
you're mixing the thing.
You're mixing the thing. This guy is unique. So
Victor Osimhen.
Victor Osimhen.
Before I begin to vibrate,
he's our Messi in Africa.
Me and Akira right about now. But I think that's how far we can go. The newspaper review segment this morning.